Hello there everybody and welcome to part 5 of my playthrough of Sonic Rivals. This time we're finally racing Knuckles the Echidna again, and yeah, you probably forgot he was in this game, didn't you? But yeah, we are racing Knuckles again, and I'm gonna be honest, just get this opinion out of the way right now. Easiest race in the game so far. Like, for some reason, Knuckles' AI in this race was as dim as an actual player who's never played the game before. So dealing with Knuckles was like no challenge whatsoever. This is your studio branded factory level that comes with every Sonic game. This one isn't really that difficult. It's the race after this that's where difficulty kind of spikes a bit, but we'll get to that when we get to that. For now, I just want to say that, your main problem with this specific race is by far just like the bottomless pits. There are a lot of bottomless pits in this level, as you can fall into like things of oil, and a lot of them will kill you if you fall into them. Most of the ones you run into will just slow you down, but a lot of them are too high up for you to survive and you'll just die. Not that death in this game has any consequence, but like, you know, it slows you down, it gives your opponent time to catch up. You know, it's a very funny thing with modern day 2D Sonic games. Was like specifically for handheld systems. I guess I should be more specific. Handheld Sonic games love just love bottomless pits. I don't know why, but just about every handheld Sonic game you could play is gonna have a bottomless pit, and you cannot avoid them. But again, that's something that's more or less an Act 2 problem. It's not a lot. You don't have to worry about racing Knuckles, you know? You barely realize you are racing Knuckles. Seriously, I think I saw him like once the entire race and never again. Also, what just happened was I actually used the Sonic Special move, which again is a boost thing. And I actually dashed through the loop, but thankfully I was far enough on to where I attached to the zip line, and I was fine. But you get to this little section, you just a nice calm zip line ride down, and then the level's over. Nothing too difficult about this race, you know. If you're like me, you should be able to beat it no problem. You know. It's probably one of the easiest S ranks I got, and I got a card for Professor Gerald Robotnik and Maria Robotnik from who originated in Sonic Adventure 2, but the card was from Shadow the Hedgehog, so. Well, we once again run into Eggman, but this time we're not going into a boss fight just yet. He's sending out Metal Sonic again. Oh, fun. You just love Metal Sonic's appearances because you know they're going to be a racing in this. I guess that's why he's in this game. So the entire game is based around racing. So, well, we'll just put Metal Sonic in. You know, it's his thing. But now we're doing the exact same race we just did with Knuckles, but against Metal Sonic. And everything I just said was going to be a problem becomes a problem here. Yeah, Metal Sonic is a very annoying racer in this game. Okay, so basically, whatever character you're playing as when you race Metal Sonic, he will have said character's ability, which means he gets Sonic's dash attack thing, and I don't know if, like, I'm doing it wrong, or if it's just because it's Metal Sonic, but I swear his dash lasts longer than yours. My advice for this race, focus less on being in first, and focus more on taking the higher paths. And what was that? Anyway, focus more on taking the higher paths and collecting power-ups to mess up Metal. Because if he gets ahead of you, which he will, it's almost impossible to catch up to him. If you're behind him, do what I just did, where I pressed the circle button. It did like a little attack thing that tripped him up, gave me time to get ahead. And I'm sure you're starting to see what I mean about the bottomless pits. You know, give me time to get ahead. Now, once you do get ahead, still focus on the power-ups and the higher routes. Because in this race specifically, the higher pathways are the safer pathways. Like, you're less likely to run into a bottomless pit on the higher path than you are just taking the linear path they set for you. So I didn't do a really good job at that. So do better than me. Another thing I keep forgetting is that you can still use a spin dash in Sonic Rivals, which is something that I could have been using the whole time to get. It gains like a good amount of speed when you're going downhill, as it should. And I would advise using it a lot in this race, more than I did, because basically take any advantage you can, take any chance you can get to get in front of him. Because Metal Sonic, he's faster than you, so yeah, if he gets ahead of you, you'll have a hard time catching up unless he messes up. But thankfully, I did not have much problems. I was able to just barely win. He was like right behind me, but you know. When you're like me, just the most god tier of Sonic players, this stuff happens, you know? You know the problems, but you know how to solve them already. But now, we move on. Now we are going into a boss fight, and Eggman's getting mad, isn't he? And now we are fighting this giant robo-ape thing. But you probably noticed this boss fight is different from the other ones. Instead of you racing your opponent to see who can defeat the boss first, you're fighting Eggman and Metal Sonic. Really, you only need to worry about Eggman. Metal isn't much of a problem. You know, he's always going to go in the opposite direction of where you're going. And really, all he's going to do is use the circle attack that I told you about earlier. You know, like trip you up, make you lose your rings. Really, all you need to focus on is when Eggman flies out of the cockpit of the robot and is just sitting out in the open. And when you hit him, he lets out these shockwaves, which can hit metal, which basically means he messes up his own creation, which I found honestly really funny. I don't know what it is. I just love boss fights with the concept of collateral damage. Like, is this something you don't think should have in a boss fight? But you know, when it happens, it happens. This is a very linear boss fight, you know, most of the time. Your only real problem, besides metal, is these missiles that he shoots out of the robot. They're not homing missiles, so you don't really gotta worry about them chasing you. All you gotta really do is keep running. If I have to make a comparison, like if I had to compare, I would say the best comparison to this would be the Bio Lizard boss fight from Sonic Adventure 2, where all you gotta do is just stay if you could just stay just a little bit ahead of the attacks, you should be fine. You should be fine. You will still get hit a few times. Again, not really by the missiles, more or less by the shockwaves. The missiles will just barely be slower than you. You should always be able to just barely dodge it. I don't know if the missiles can hit Metal Sonic, but like I said, I know the shockwaves can. And you know, really, if you play your cards right, you won't even know Metal's here. He's just kind of racing around doing his own thing. But, anyway, Eggman jumps out of the cockpit just one last time, does nothing different, try to beat you, just hit him one last time, and you win. And the whole thing explodes. Not even a trace was left. Yeah. And we unlocked the card for E123 Omega from Sonic Heroes. It's one of my favorite characters in that game. And Eggman is running, which means the boss fight's over and Knuckles and Tails are here. It's funny how we mentioned that after unlocking the Sonic Heroes character. And it looks like up next, Team Sonic will band together once again to take on Eggman. And what I can only assume is at least coming close to the end of Sonic's story. But, you know, we'll know next time. Next part is part 6, where we'll be taking on Eggman again with all 3 characters, I think. I'm gonna be honest, I've now reached the point where these voiceovers are outdated. I have not recorded part 6 yet, so that's fun. But I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye, everybody.